Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all well. Today I've got quite an old game in the Somers that's been lurking around on the hard drive for a few months. For whatever reason, I just hadn't had a chance to sort of get round to doing a video about it. We're on Shards, 3-point domination game with my friends Atam and Jufane, and I'm going to attempt to take the Bravo cap in the Somers, and we'll see how it goes, eh? The boys are going to push over to the Alpha cap. They've got plenty of support. 2 BBs and another cruiser helping. The enemy team are in some force as well on Alpha cap. But, you know, my main priority here is to spot for the team and take this Bravo cap as early as possible if we can. You can see from the chat I don't think I was very keen to go in on my own. Sometimes you can get very isolated in a DD and in a Somers. If you come across a gunboat at close proximity with radar support, it's usually curtains. So, you know, I need to orientate the ship so I can make a hasty retreat. So get back to the border of the cap. But, you know, so far all's well, and we're sort of 15 seconds to taking the Bravo cap, which is great. Predicted some torpedoes earlier. I'm not sure that anything's going to come of that, but you never know, do you? Like I always say, if you don't send, you don't get. Always try and send your fish on cooldown if you can. Somers gearing tops pretty stealthy, so you know, there's a good chance that you can clip something that's not quite aware. But with the prevalence of hydro at tier 10, I mean, most everything's got hydro these days. It's becoming increasingly difficult to land those juicy dev strikes, you know. I think we played this game in March. Yeah, a couple of months ago. Looks like the battleships are going to be flanking round. So I'll just send a random set there. And obviously now I've got mine to help the fellas in the division and get into the Alpha cap. We know there's a Des Moines Minotaur here, 2 battleships. There's a Thunder knocking around as well. Okay, so you know, the Des Moines I'm really worried about. I really don't want to get isolated. Oh, and he's here as well. Yes, he's quite keen, isn't he? And there's his radar. Thankfully he hit his radar before I came round the side of that island, because that could have been an absolute disaster for me, particularly because he's with a Minotaur and I wouldn't have lasted for a matter of seconds in front of those 2. But the Des Moines just got absolutely hammered by our Republic or Yamato, I think, and Atam takes him out, which is fantastic. So that's an incredibly dangerous ship taken out. So, good start. My speculative torpedoes on the battleships didn't quite work out, but hey, you know, they don't all work out. Minotaur's in his smoke, so I'll send some more fish at him. Hopefully we can get a little bit more lucky this time. I'll send all 3 sets. Those battleships are definitely going to push around. They're not hanging about there. I just need to look after my division mates here as well. I'm mindful that their smoke might be running out. So I'm going to turn in front of him. Managed to get a couple of torpedo hits on the Minor, which is lovely. And Juve in the Worcesters just to the rear. And we've still got the battleship support as well, which is lovely. Absolutely fantastic. So, you know, I think I did the right thing at the start of the game. Got the Bravo cap. So at least we're ticking into a points lead. And it looks as though the team are doing very well on the Charlie cap as well, which is super. I know got himself spotted there. I'll do a little bit of blind shooting in smoke. Smoke's for ATAM behind me as well, of course. I don't want him to suffer here. Oh, a couple of blind hits there. And yes, the battleships have pushed round. Preußen and the Shikishima. So the priority here is to get rid of the Minotaur, of course, because we want to take, or I want to get into that cap circle. And you know, we need to stamp some authority on this game, don't we? Shiki's coming round, he's playing with speed a bit, so I'll kind of guess where he's going to be. Oh, and the Minor goes down, which is absolutely lovely. And that gives us a little bit of breathing space now. Because ATAM is utilising my smoke screen and I can get back into the Alpha cap. Hopefully take that. In the meantime, I'll turn and try and get some fish out on the Shiki. I'm not quite sure where the Preußen is at this point. I think he might have gone further north, or who knows, he might be lurking behind the island. ATAM's got some fish out in their direction as well, which is great. Yeah, so that Shiki was it was slow boating there, wasn't he? Playing with his speed. Oh, Preußen. I don't think they're keen to push round because, you know, they're getting covered by ATAM and Juve in the cruisers. I'm spotting them up. I'm going to turn, try and keep them in vision. I should have probably lingered a little more there. The Shiki went unspotted briefly, but I don't think that's going to matter. He's going to take the fish.
Enemy battleship destroyed.
He'd already been farmed fairly heavily, so bit of a kill steal there. But, you know, I'll take it. And we've got the cap, which is lovely. Preußen's turning to run, but he's getting covered by our Yamato on the border as well. And that's a very dangerous move, doing that. He's turning broadside to the Yamato now. I'll send some fish at him. Ah, yes. Juve got the kill. But I think the Yamato absolutely smashed his broadside there. Ah, here we see the enemy Thunderer driving straight towards the Alpha cap. I think ATAM might have been panicking a little bit at this point. He's got some fish out on him early, which is good. And of course, I've got mine to do exactly the same thing. Hopefully, the team can distract him enough so I can get an early set out here. And then drive into the island, undetected of course. And then as he comes round, I'd love to get myself a drive-by done here. If he's not paying attention, it'll work. If he is paying attention, I could get absolutely smashed. Oh yeah, taking a few from his secondaries there, but he's not really paying attention, is he? Bless him. And I'll take that kill every day of the week. Thank you very much. So, what could have been an absolute and utter disaster there turned into pretty much a textbook takedown of the Alpha Cap between us. Thankfully, the Yamato was giving us some long-range support there, which was super, you know. I think if it hadn't been for the Yami sticking around, we might have struggled a little bit there. But, yeah, I was just mindful to keep the enemy team in vision, you know. I don't think I got a lot of spotting damage done there, particularly. 40k or so. But at least the boys were aware of the positions of the enemy team at all times. Pretty much. Which, you know, it's really important as a DD player. You need to be spotting for the team. I mean, recently I had got a combat scout just the other day. I think it was on daytime stream, and managed to get 195,000 spotting damage, and that's purely just being in the right position and not making a nuisance of yourself, spotting up the enemy, not particularly doing any damage, but, you know, if you can spot the enemy, your teammates can shoot them. So it's so important. It's so important in DDs. If you get the opportunity to do that and flank, get on a flank, even if you're on your own. You know, sometimes it's not possible for your teammates to get into a position where they can flank round. But as a DD, oftentimes you have that opportunity, and it's absolutely invaluable. It really is. Vision is everything in this game. If you can spot the enemy and they can't spot you, what can they do? They can't do a lot, can they? So, some spec torps out on Ravana. Don't even know what that ship is. I don't think I've seen it since, actually. I think it's probably a test ship, I would imagine, and might have a different name now. If you're wondering what that sound was in the background, Poppy, my cat, has just jumped onto the back of my chair. Bless her. And she sometimes does that. She's a love. She just wants a little bit of attention, I think. So I'm going to drive into these guys, smoke it for ATAM. Shoot up the Elbing, but it's, you know, he's doing the forward reverse thing. So yeah, we'll see how this turns out, right? Can't seem to get hit on him. Okay. His friend goes down though. And I managed to get a double strike. So I think you can call that a success. That'll do, right? That'll do. Not an amazing amount of XP. It was a good team effort. The whole team played well in that one. Hit list Thunder, Amino, Ravenna, Shikishima, Elbing. A little bit of damage into Des Moines. And 600,000 credits will do very nicely. As always, guys, thanks ever so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Alright, take care. Bye bye.